I may not have gone to high school every day, but I spent a lot of my adolescence feeling vulnerable and confused and alone. Just like everybody else, I am not the most courageous guy in the world outside of the court. Being alone in the dark is something I don't like. No one deserves to die alone. No matter who you are, you deserve to have someone by your side. And as a volunteer with hospice, we provide that love, comfort, and respect. A lot of people prefer to be alone. They would rather be a palm tree on an island. I don't get it. On its face, Donald Trump's hateful musings about women and his boastful claims of sexual dominance should be reason alone to drive him from polite society and certainly to blockade him from the West Wing. Yet somehow, his misogyny has instead propelled his campaign to the brink of the Republican nomination. I really cite Walt Disney as teaching me everything I know. It sounds crazy, but I'm serious. In Bambi, the mother dies, but you don't see the corpse. You see the father, the stag, come up and you see Bambi alone. And that has so much more impact than seeing a mutilated deer. I will say that rowing in the first Olympics was probably one of the most proud moments in my life. What I enjoy about the sport is that it's definitive. Nobody can take away from the fact that you're an Olympian. It's indisputable. You get there on merit and merit alone. My own will and desires were now very much broken, and my heart was with much earnestness turned to the Lord, to whom alone I looked for help in the dangers before me. Musical theater is great. You get painted up, you get to play princesses and witches, and you sing. The joy alone of that can really carry a lot. When a thing is not worth overdoing, leave it alone. Programs funded by the Department of Labor have already opened doors for many Americans to become apprentices, particularly veterans, women, and minorities. But government alone cannot equip the American workforce for the jobs of tomorrow. The private sector must lead. I don't like to be alone. I like to have my family around me. They disturb me, of course, but that's okay. Honestly, working with Eddie Murphy was mind-blowing just in terms of the budget alone. To see the respect he commands, to witness his presence, you understand why he and people like Martin Lawrence are stars. Single people make me crazy with their whining about being alone. I think a writer is a describer. She describes society and human nature as she sees it. She has to be both typical of that society and alone within it. Is it not careless to become too local when there are 400 billion stars in our galaxy alone? We talk a lot on Biggest Loser about how fitness is a natural antidepressant, how it burns off stress. What I like about running is that it gives me time alone. I'm always busy, with people at work, with my kids. I love getting out for a run by myself and just listening to my music. Enjoy my alone time, but I'm an open book. A journal of the subjective kind I have always thought foolish, as nurturing a morbid self-consciousness in the writer. And yet, alone so much as I am, it is well to have some sort of a ventilator from the interior. Anything that makes you feel the most alone also has the greatest power to connect you. The universe is very big. There's about 100,000 million galaxies in the universe, so that means an awful lot of stars. And some of them, I'm pretty certain, will have planets where there was life, is life, or maybe will be life. I don't believe we're alone. Once a disease has entered the body, all parts which are healthy must fight it. Not one alone, but all. Because a disease might mean their common death. Nature knows this, and nature attacks the disease with whatever help she can muster. I need to be able to work for 20 or 30 hours in one go in complete darkness, alone with just the computer glow. Over the years, I have worked very hard to achieve what I have so far. But I've not been alone in this journey. A lot of the credit for this goes to my fans. It's because of them that I'm here today. However, democracy cannot be defined as the existence of parliaments and elections alone. I hate cameras. They interfere. They're always in the way. I wish, if I could work with my eyes alone. Often we can help each other most by leaving each other alone. At other times, we need the hand grasp and the word of cheer. If you live in a family or have 5 roommates, there's some sort of reality check. But when you live alone, there's a lot more leeway for your fantasy life to be more and more a part of your everyday life. I was hiking a 5-day loop, alone, in the Rocky Mountains when I rounded the switchback and saw a large body on the trail ahead. It had brown fur with a cinnamon tinge that was draped across dense, humped-back muscle. A broad head lifted, and I could see the dish-shaped muzzle was catching my scent. I knew bears. This was a grizzly. I think about dying. I've come to realize we all die alone in one way or another.